start the questions with very, very quick story. So I'm sure in each of your companies you have very enthusiastic workers and colleagues. So I have one, Kaur, and he is very enthusiastic about railways. He knows everything about railways. So when I said that we will be having conference in Tallinn, he said, did you know what? I just went to antique shop and I just purchased the schedule of transportation in Tallinn in 1938. So 80 years ago, if you would walk around, you would buy something like this, the book of transport. So if we would turn, do we have something from Tallinn to Warsaw? And yes, indeed. Helsinki, Tallinn, Warsaw, Bucharest, and Lida. I don't know where was it or where it is now. But back there in 1938, you would start the trip in Tallinn at 8:20 in the morning. You would land, and this is by plane, in Riga, 9:35, 20 minutes stop. Off you go to Kaunas, land in Kaunas, and then in Warsaw, 12:05. So 80 years ago, the same trip from Tallinn to Warsaw, and that time by plane, 4 hours. So 80 years later, plus few years more, by train, it will be somewhere around 6–8 hours plus. So we will jump right to the first question. Why do we build 240 kilometers per hour railway when current development of speed on railway is more than 300? So can we reach Warsaw faster or even Hyperloop? Who would dare to take this question? Kaspar?
This is a question that we hear very often. Of course, I'll start with the Hyperloop. You wouldn't want to travel on a Hyperloop today, and probably not also in 10 years. The technology, even though it's very high on the hype cycle, such as a few other technologies mentioned today, I don't think it's ready to market anytime soon. So to consider it today, from the point of view of maturity of the technology, would not be a wise decision. And on the other hand, of course, the densities, the populations wouldn't justify the cost of investing in such a technology, again, any time soon. That's on the one hand. The other, a more important issue, whether it should be 240, the top range of the P2 TSI fast conventional speed range, or to go beyond, to go in the full high-speed rail. We are considering that. I mean, of course, as part of the working on the design guidelines, these elements are being considered. Of course, the choice currently stands at 240. All the international agreements are based on that speed. But clearly, if there's a case to be made whereby with very limited increases in capex, you can generate, you can build at a higher speed and generate additional economic benefits from going higher speed and saving even more time for both passenger and freight traffic, then maybe this is a legitimate dilemma to be elevated back to the political level to reconsider of maybe going faster.
Okay, thank you. Now, Warsaw-Kaunas line, how far is Poland with planning and design? Paulius, can you share? Do you have information?
I'm not too sure how far is the planning and design. I think it's still in the implementation and design phase. I'm not sure.
So I think that was partially answered yesterday, and that Poland is in the process of developing their part of rail from Warsaw to the border, and so that by 2026 both railway lines will meet each other. Now the next one, will tenders be open to ATC alternative technical concepts to be suggested by prospect contractors within proposals, innovation, saving, sustainability? What do you think, Kaspars?
I have to be honest with you, I have a very vague understanding of the detail of that particular approach. I know that, for example, in the US in hybrid construction, this approach has been used very successfully, whereby suppliers who are able to provide innovative, sustainable solutions at the same or better level than the established design and criteria parameters set on a national level, or in this case, on the Rail Baltica global project level, then from the theoretical point of view, I'm not sure whether our procurement department is considering that. I think it's something we should look into it, but it clearly could add value, especially when it comes to integration of different innovative concepts. in Rail Baltica.
Carlo, would you like to take the next one? Question. What about crossover, things that are not strictly innovation, but are new to rail sector? Where do they fit in either Rail Baltica or any other railway project? Yeah. From other sectors, where do you take the experience?
I think that obviously we cannot have a big bang and wait that something completely new come up and revolutionize the system. So also from our point of view, what we are trying to do is a step approach and to try to introduce already autonomy or automation. But we need to look at the future. So when we are discussing, Paulius was presenting his views about automation, and when I talk with my people, I'm not an engineer but I learned a lot in the last years. I think our objective should be automation level 4. If you are looking at what the automotive is doing, is looking at autonomous car without a driver. Although if today we'll have a driver maybe for the next 20 years. Hyperloop is not looking to go at 50 kilometers per hour and project Hyperloop for 50 or 500. It's looking at a 1,000 kilometers per hour doing a certain service. After, if technological, they will be able to realize it with the passenger on board. I don't want, but there will be a lot of spillover from there. So in the railway system, and what we see is shift to rail. So when you ask where we have people that help you in this type of project you are running, come with shift to rail, work with us, because this is exactly what we are trying to do, is to look at what is already on the market. So we can look at LTE, but we already know now that LTE will have such limitation that at a certain point of time will not be able to satisfy level automation 4. So we need to look at 5G. We know that it's not 5G, but if you want to go in the direction of building a Rail Baltica of the future, and we should not look at the CapEx, we should look at the cost, the full life cycle cost of the system, not only the initial investment. It's changing the business economy around all this. We need to have the level of ambition at the maximum level of ambition. And after, yes, no one will impede that you have a perfect autonomous train. Like today, if you speak with Tom Enders, he will tell you an A380, you take off, fly, and land completely alone. But there is a pilot on board, 2 or 3. Okay. And mostly not because it's not able, but because there are many other aspects behind. You have 500 people or 800 people on board, you have maybe problems and so on and so on. So we need to have the level of ambition towards the maximum automation and try to have a stepwise approach and to address it, like in speed. The difference between 240 and 300 is not a question of your CapEx, it's a question of energy consumption. It's a question of how you want to, which type of service you are doing. And I can connect with the question that was before about will the truck substitute the train? I don't believe so. Because it would have already happened. Well, today still, we have goods going back to the rail system because it's much more performant in some services. So I think this stepwise approach is really important. And we need to take anything coming from the other side. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay. We can take everything.
Okay, Carlo, let's move on. Perhaps, Javier, you could take something rephrasing next question. How about Spain and ADIF? Will you have something like mobility as a service, the system where it is interoperable of data and information system? Well, basically, I land in Madrid airport, and whatever I will use on my way until the center of Madrid, I will just use with one ticket, one card, or whatever. Do you have some plans, or do you have already in Spain?
Yeah, I mean, we are in Spain and ADIF particularly. I mean, we have also projects being developed in terms of providing information to the passengers arriving any station in Spain and being able to take any of the mode of transport beside the station, in the station. So we are working on that solutions too. But I was going also to take on the second question that says that is if there's what kind of innovative in rail sector. I mean, if we are open to new slab track, of course, is, as Carlo said, I mean, we have to go step by step also. As an infrastructure manager, we look also a lot in the maintenance activities and maintenance costs, of course. So we have to balance the assets and how we maintain the assets. Of course, slab track is a very good technical solution and approach for a safer operation. But of course, we have to balance maintenance, innovation activities. I mean, of course, needs are coming from the sector, and internal needs are also balanced and analyzed in order to implement them when possible. I mean, having a step-by-step approach, of course.
Okay.
But we are, of course, open to innovation and to any kind of solutions that are open. Are able to improve the service for the passengers, of course.
Okay, thank you. And then if I could jump to the question number 3, do you think regulation will suppress innovation, and how will Rail Baltica address this as the last question? Who will dare to take this question?
I think so, yes. I think it's really, when we work in Innovation Lab in Lithuanian Railways that has been established only 6 months ago, we have a lot of innovative companies coming to us, not only regionally wise, but around the globe, right? Mm-hmm. And they come to us and they say, we have this innovative solution, hardware, software, preventive maintenance, the whole package of IoT. It's really hard for us to say them, okay, we understand, but there's regulations that cannot surpass this solution, right? So it's kind of a juggling between the law and the technology, and who gets who. It's really a teamwork on this occasion, and I think in Rail Baltica, there's a great chance of countries working together and surpassing these laws and getting the best out of technology.
Okay. Yes.
May I add something really short?
Please.
I'm working with Joseph Dovelbauer, the director of ERA, the European Agency Railways, exactly on this point. What we are discussing is that how regulation will innovate. Today we have most of our railway system, I think all the engineers here, they know it, at SIL 4. How we make at SIL 4 artificial intelligence that is changing every moment, that is every second. So there is really a need to look what has been done, for example, in the field of drones in aviation. They don't anymore regulate the technology as such, but the use of technology. In rail system, we have still regulation of where is the level of the rail to attach your hands and so on and so on. We need to say that people should be able to go on board, that's all. And after you can do it as you want. So this is a bit the concept. So innovation in regulation will be one of the fundamental components, ensuring interoperability, because we create a network for passenger and freight around all Europe, is one of the key elements on which we need to work.
So, and just to remember that because of innovation, we could compete with other modes of transport. Otherwise, we will be flying and maybe going by cars to Warsaw rather than railway. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And we will be back. Let's give a round of applause.